Welcome to DRC Live, powered in part by the Denton Record-Chronicle and Classic of Denton.
Good afternoon, Denton. I'm Lucinda Breeding, the features editor at the Denton Record-Chronicle.
And I'm Jenna Duncan. I am the business editor over at the Denton Record-Chronicle. And this is our weekly show, DRC Live, where we try to keep you up to date with news and events and things you might need to know to prepare to go about your weekend.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So you have some big theater news that's brewing.
Big theater news. But I'll start with something you can do this weekend. There's a really wonderful musical opening at the Campus Theater on Friday. It's Music Theater of Denton staging Ragtime. And this is a really beautiful musical with a huge score. John Noreen, who is one of the best musical directors we have here in Denton, is powering this group of singers and musicians through the musical. And Eric B. Ryan is directing.
Okay.
So John Noreen taking care of the music. Eric B. Ryan making everything happen on stage. And this is, it's about turn of the century, New York City. Right around the 1900s, when the Industrial Revolution is really changing the American economic landscape. And it's really about three groups of people. There's sort of an upper class white family and a musician in Harlem and a recent immigrant, he's Jewish, and how all of their lives in New York City start sort of braiding together and how their experiences, the obstacles they face, and the common future that they share become like a really important part of not just their own lives, but one another's lives. And it's really sort of almost sort of a romanticized sort of retelling of that part of our history when factories really were rolling along and people were just coming to Ellis Island and just waves and waves of people. Definitely a family musical. Scott Deck, the producer, when I talked to some folks last night, he said, "Now you shouldn't come to the theater expecting a comedy." This is dealing with a dramatic moment in American history and lots of different groups of people trying to make a go of it. But this is the sort of musical that at the end of it, I think you really leave the theater sort of feeling that sort of patriotic American optimism.
Okay.
So it opens this weekend. Performances are 7:30 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, and that's this weekend. Sunday matinees are 2 p.m., and it's this weekend and next. And I have some ticket information for you. Tickets are $25 for adults, $20 for senior citizens, and $15 for students. You can get those online on Music Theater of Denton's website, which is www.musictheaterofdenton.com, or you can call the Campus Theater box office at 940-382-1915. And we are going to have a story and some photos of the show in tomorrow's edition of Denton Time.
Ooh, a little more thorough preview.
Yeah, and since we're talking about theater, Denton Community Theater and Music Theater of Denton are going through this process of they're exploring very seriously merging. They're both theater companies, and over the last 20 years or so, and Denton Community Theater has been around for, I think they're getting close to 50 years, I think. Music Theater of Denton is a bit younger, but they've been around for a good 20 years. Over the last, I'd say 15 years, Music Theater of Denton, it moved from being a light opera company. They still do some of that content, but they sort of started out as a company that really wanted to produce at least one Gilbert and Sullivan operetta a year.
Okay.
So this is Denton, where we have University of North Texas College of Music. We have got
a lot of serious talent.
A lot of serious talent and a lot of really classically trained vocalists. So, but then over the years, Music Theater of Denton really kind of changed a little bit of its mission, or a lot of its mission, and started experimenting with what I consider contemporary musical theater, like Avenue Q. They've done Das Barbecue. They've done Rent. They still occasionally will do a Gilbert and Sullivan piece or something in that vein. Now, Denton Community Theater, they started out as a company that did what we call straight theater, plays, comedies, dramas. But then over their history, they also started doing musicals. So these two groups are exploring a merger. They have voted, their memberships have voted to go forward with a merger, but they are just really in the initial stages of it. And we've got a story coming out about why they've decided to do this, what that could mean for people in Denton who love theater, and also the people who patronize both companies.
Right.
But from what I can tell, this merger really gives both of these groups an opportunity to really capitalize on the folks who show up at auditions, what shows they want to do. But also, it has, there's a lot in the offing as far as, what's going to be available for all ages at the campus theater. So it's big news. They're taking it slow. They're being very, very intentional about it, and I'm really, really interested and excited to see what's going to be next for them. So, and also,
fascinating.
Aside from theater, if you're really into like quirky, smart, like conceptual music, Backyard on Bell has a show coming up on Friday that might just be what you're looking for. A group called the Helium Queens.
I like that name.
I know. This is a trio of moon-dwelling aliens from the future. And their the concept of this project and this band is that these beings from the moon occasionally travel through time, come back to Denton to give us not just a moment to party, but maybe a little bit of a prophecy about the future. There's a little bit of like local. Well, there's a lot of local in this. I've got to tell you the names of these aliens.
Okay.
I love this. There is Pycea Exandria, which is Poppy Xander. She graduated from UNT. And she plays like a collection of synthesizers. She also is sort of, I kind of consider her the lead vocalist, but, and it's sort of her brainchild. And then there is Star Lux Nectaris. I love this name.
Nectaris.
And that is Chelsea Danielle. And if you are a fan of Pearl Earl, like I am,
Yes.
Chelsea Danielle is a drummer for Pearl Earl.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then let's see. I'm lost here. Venu Andromeda on drums. That's Chelsea. Charla Franklin is Venu. I love
Venu.
this. This is they're going to be landing at Backyard on Bell. The show actually starts at like 8:00 on Friday. They're going to be sharing the bill that night with Nervous Curtains, Mr. Breakfast, and Demandite. Like that Demandite. It's a brand new chemical compound or
something
geological.
It
Demandite.
sounds really authoritative.
or something like associated with Amazon.
Oh God, not another Amazon branded musician.
Yeah, right. But anyway, Demandite, like I don't know, on demand. But anyway, so if you are into sort of really spacey, experimental, but I think sort of like pop-worthy music, Helium Queens is going to have a show. They're going to be landing here in Denton. And this is actually part of a project. Their plan is to release a full project called Space Odyssey by the end of the year. And they're going to be releasing this like, I guess about just something every month, just about. But they also will be giving us all transmissions using YouTube on the full moon every month.
I love this concept.
Yes. Yeah,
this
no,
is
it's really
fun and really well thought out.
And of course, this is going to be a show with costumes.
Yeah.
And I've been told, feel free to paint your face, put on a costume. I'm imagining like really silver platform boots.
Yes.
And head out to Backyard on Bell on Friday. Why not?
Yeah. Why not put on some shiny, all I can think of is like lame pants and just like everything glittery.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
neon.
And for some reason, I'm also picturing Barbarella. So, fur-lined bikinis or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Might be a little too cold for that, though.
I think it might be. But anyway, Backyard on Bell is promising some pretty outlandish, otherworldly fun.
Good fun.
Yeah,
I like it.
All right. So what's happening in your world?
Well, first, it's our world and your world. Best of Denton voting.
Oh, that's right.
Ends on Sunday night at 11:59. So for those of you who maybe haven't heard of this or haven't participated in the process, you'll notice walking around town, there's these little like logos, and it looks like a blue ribbon, and it will say voted Best of Denton. So we host this every year where you vote for your favorite businesses in different categories. So best kept secret restaurant, best date night restaurant, but best HVAC repair, best oil change, best anything you can think of, best childcare, best nursing care. I mean, it really has become like a community curated Angie's List.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Peggy put it to me that way, and I was like, I'm so using that. But it really has it. It's like getting endorsements from all of your friends and neighbors about the businesses that they trust the most and the ones that they use. And it comes out every year in April. And so our ballot is up right now. If you go to our homepage, dentonrc.com, on the right-hand side, there's a little like rectangle chunk that's orange. And then in the middle, it says
rectangle chunk.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I can
what
see it
we're
in my
supposed
mind.
to call it. And then I guess it's like a banner, and then it says like Best of Denton 2019, and it will take you to the ballot. And we really encourage you to go and vote for your favorite businesses. We spend a lot of time really curating and making sure that we have the most up to date, and that we're really reflective of our entire business community in this piece. And then, of course, it's a huge honor whenever anybody wins. And then if you hear that somebody wins, the best plumber for 8 years in a row, and then your toilet doesn't work, you know who to call.
Yeah. And I know some people out there are like, oh, this is going to be so predictable. The same folks win every year. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. But also, I think the other cool piece to Best of Denton is it's very much about local businesses, but it's also about sort of local cultural events.
Yes.
So if you're a newcomer and you're like, what do people in Denton love to do?
Yeah.
That's, like a big yearly thing. I know usually arts and jazz comes away with some sort of Best
recognition.
Of Denton. Yeah. So it really is heavily businesses, but it's also a way for especially newcomers to maybe get some things, at least, if not on your calendar, maybe a sort of save the date type thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great reference for that kind of material as well. And then, I still have mine out from last year because, you never know when you're going to need something or when you are drawing a blank.
I keep a copy in the kitchen,
like
so that if something goes wrong, whether it's my car, something in the house.
It's a community reference book. So, get out there and vote for your favorite businesses and events and get involved in the process. It's really fun. And then in business news, so I had the Business Chronicle come out today, which I had previewed a little bit last week, talking about the Sparky's new businesses in town, the creator of Barley and Board and LSA. And it talks a lot more about the H2 Oak project, which is going to be the big new barbecue spot downtown. And it makes me wonder if the Bet the House guys knew that was coming, and that was maybe a reason for them to
could be maybe pull back. Yeah, maybe pull back
or they could just hire them and then have a merger.
Oh yeah.
Hire me as your business consultant.
Well, you are in the know as far as
but so that's really exciting. So that's on the cover today. And then also in that story, it talks about their other concepts that they're working on. So you might not know. There's going to be a second location of LSA and a second location of Barley and Board in the Colony, which is really exciting. It's going to be at the Grandscape, that is where Nebraska Furniture Mart is, and they are building out. They're building out their first mixed use retail development over 350 acres. They're aiming for 400 acres. 400 walkable acres.
It's like IKEA in Frisco. Well, it's bigger than that. Actually.
Yeah, it's crazy town.
That is nuts.
It is a really ambitious project. And so, of course, when there's some big, grandiose project, somehow Sparky gets reined in. He said a friend introduced him to the owners of Nebraska Furniture Mart as they were building out stuff. And they actually became like frequenters of Denton. Apparently, when they have people come in from Omaha to visit, they come up here to hang out because we're so cool, which I love to hear because that's something we would have never heard 10 years ago. That people from out of town in DFW are like, oh, hey, we need to go to Denton for the night. So I think that's a really cool thing that we can tout now.
And I do also think that that's sort of been in the air since LSA Burger Company opened. Yeah. I've just heard so many people in Denton say there's something about LSA that just seems ripe for not necessarily like a major franchise, but they could see that concept
working other
places and other places in North Texas. So this is going to be a big surprise to some people, but for some people this is going to be like, aha, yes, I saw this coming.
The most interesting thing to me about it is the restaurant group owners, which is Sparky and then also Steve Watkins. They said they don't want to create exact replicas. They're
okay.
So Barley and Board is going to open out there in the last quarter of this year.
Oh, wow.
And then LSA next summer. So right now they're working on the recipe development for Barley and Board. They decided they're keeping the same menu sections. They are only migrating over one item from each section to the new restaurant, and the rest is all going to be a new menu. Okay. Which, if you frequent Barley and Board, you know they do rotating specials. They do. And they've been toying a lot with that recently, and I think that it's because of the restaurant development that they're doing right now for the second location. So they've had a lot of really cool lunch specials if you're following them on Facebook and Instagram. So that's pretty cool. Denton business is building out. They're also building a really crazy Cajun restaurant in Salina. And the name is Bongo Bo's Bourrée Palace and Cajun Kitchen.
Say that
three times fast. But they're building that out in Salina too. So they are like really kicking up the steam right now. But then coming back to downtown Denton, we're getting another brewery. I'm hoping to have this be the Sunday business cover. So if you want more information, please check the Sunday business section in our website Sunday morning. But the brewery is called Howling Mutt. They have the permits going. They're going in at 205 Cedar. So the strip along where Sue's used to be, Sue's So Shop.
Yes.
That whole chunk of Cedar along is going to be Howling Mutt. They're hoping to open in May, though they've hit some snags when the government shutdown was happening. That tripped up their licensing. So they're a little behind schedule from where they were hoping to be. But they're still hoping to open the tap room by May.
Oh, wow. That's not that far away.
Not that far away. So hopefully I'll be talking to them this week.
Excellent. Downtown Denton is starting to feel a little bit like a beer garden.
I know. It was funny when I found out about this. I messaged Ben Esley of Bearded Monk, who does Free Beer Fridays. And I was like, how have you not introduced me to them? And he was like, he didn't know. So this one kind of snuck up on him. So I'm excited to learn more about the concept, especially if all the insiders don't totally know what's going on yet. But it's a big space, and another brewery downtown is definitely, the breweries that we already have are well loved and frequented. So they do a brisk business. Yeah.
When I think the brewery folks, they've really intentionally spent some time thinking about not just what they're serving, but comfort. If you go to a Denton County Independent, did I say that right?
Denton County Brewing Company.
Yes. No.
So close. You got it.
If you go there, if you go to Armadillo Ale Works, if you go to a lot of, they're just very comfortable places to, sit down. I went to East Side about like a month ago, and it cracked me up because I think I saw some people like playing Risk or Monopoly outside. And I was like, that's comfort right there. People are comfortable. So
people want to hang out in these places. So.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
It's contributing to our are growing beer culture, which is great. I know that like the Dallas Beer Bus has been doing some tours up here where you hop on a bus in Dallas, you go to East Side, you go to Bearded Monk, you go to Denton County.
You go to Harvest House at all, or?
I don't know what the lineup is. It's like 3 to 5 places.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's Dallas folks are hopping on a bus to come do a little
beer party.
Day drinking in Denton, which cracks me up and shows that type of business drives tourism. So it's exciting for our city.
For sure.
So yeah, so that's what I've got. Yep. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks,
Remember to vote for Best of Denton, DentonRC.com.
They have to do it by Sunday.
By Sunday.
By Sunday.
So get on your ballots. Thanks for tuning in with us. We will see you next week on DRC Live, Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Bye.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.